Let's go. And here's where the next episode will start. So,
Okay.
since we're right here, let's do the Quagmire. Did actually try recording this one once, but didn't quite work out as well as I would have liked. Still kind of a little too new at the whole two-hander thing that we were trying here.
Yeah. I still don't know what that means, but I'm assuming it's just what it sounds like.
Ah, when you had 2 stars in a thing. What? We actually talked about this last time.
Aw.
Where was Dennis Rodman and Steven Seagal in a movie?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Is that Point Break or something?
That's his double team because it's got the
Oh, double
basketball
team,
pun
of
in
course. Yeah. Okay.
it. Well, it's not a tremendously difficult puzzle to start with. But
And then I think I was going to say before you rudely stepped over me in that video, and that's why we had to record, is important content. Space Jam is that's a two-hander with Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny.
I mean, there were all of your favorite Looney Tunes in it, but yes.
I mean, who the hell knows who Lola Bunny is?
Well, she was literally created for the movie, so yes.
Oh, by the way, we should probably go over to what we're doing right now with the Tetramino puzzle.
All right, so all of the other line puzzles have been about guiding a line to an ending. These ones switch it up because now you are given this, an area that you have to cover. And it has to be covered exactly as it looks like. So if this is an L block, this is an L block. You can't, Tetramino it in a different style here, rotate it around. It has to look like how it's there, and it has to be included in the area that the line surrounds. It is a very, very neat puzzle in this game. Makes you think about it in a very different way. And additionally, you also can do some pretty devious stuff with it. Hoo boy.
And by the way, I just want to point out these are very difficult types of puzzles. I think we both spent a lot of time just stuck with these. But I like how you're phrasing that as it's kind of switching it up from how we've done the puzzles before. It's actually it's another time where you're switching up positive and negative space.
Yep.
Literally, instead of the line going there, you're looking at the area covered by your solution. It's kind of a different perspective on that.
And the thing that makes
you just do the 2 and the block of the red block from Tetris.
Wow, that took you a second there. But I mean, it's not even just the whole positive and negative space. It's also the it's really bringing home one of the things that doesn't really appear tremendously often in a lot of the other game, the fact that you can't go over your line. So you have to make it one complete solid line start to end.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and you see that a lot with these ones that are kind of not so much with these, but with the one where it was the L block, and it had to touch the edge.
Like this sort of thing, you can't do it like that. You have to do it just as you did before.
Mm-hmm.
Here, though,
it gives you. There's a lot of constraints that are maybe you weren't aware of before this.
Like this sort of thing, it's a thing that creates a lot of complexity in the game that I think is really cool. It also gives you multiple ways to solve puzzles once again, which has been a little bit lacking recently, for example. And this one, which is pretty interesting, where you can do it like this, which is, the obvious way. You can see the little 2 block up here, and the 4 block.
Oh, by the way,
here.
you should do the other way, where it's just to demonstrate it. You did this last time in the last video.
That's what I was about to do.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But yes, you can see now you got the 4 block up here, the 2 block down here. The only thing that matters is the fact that you have the area required covered. None of this other stuff
are additive.
And then you can see, look at the ground right now.
I feel bad because you obviously were thinking that through.
Yeah, you gotta understand. We gotta be on the same page when it comes to talking here, I guess. It's damn it, I was just about to tell them.
I never
tell
them.
I was gonna tell them. Yeah, you fucking tell them. I was already gonna tell them. Yeah, we'll fucking tell them right now. And there's the most ribald this channel is going to get for a long time. And savor it. I had that exact same sort of thing happen when I originally did a Bloodborne playthrough, where one of the guys in the comments was like, how do you not know about all the crazy alien monsters? And I'm like, I'm going to get to that when they start appearing in the game.
Yeah, or I was looking at the comments on the first video, and somebody's like, "You missed the first environmental puzzle where
You were
it's like."
talking about the environmental puzzles a lot, even from the very beginning, though.
I mean, well, I was going to reply
You're
to that person saying, "Oh yeah, we were just lampshading it."
And then you can't
Whatever.
do the second one because of that, so switch her up. Oh, and these ones,
Yeah, this is
you really
easy.
have to wrap your mind around like how
How the configuration has to work. Yeah,
because they can get excessively difficult over time. These are some of the most difficult puzzles in the game. You said
yeah.
that before, but it's like if we actually sat down here and just stared at the puzzle for like 2 hours, that would be the more accurate way of how this actually
Yeah.
went for like the first time I did this.
Is there a difference? Is there something called like accurate let's plays? Is there like a genre where you just fucking watch
The
somebody
other
play
one
a
in existence,
puzzle game painstakingly?
like every other playthrough of The Witness in existence, probably.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm guessing because that would just get so protracted. It would just take so long.
Baba is you.
Oh, I suppose, yeah.
And maybe some of the criticisms that I've levied against I'm not gonna say anything.
Oh, were you gonna mention another popular streamer?
What? No. Another
Oh,
five
okay.
or six of them. Anyway. One of the things that I always wanted to do with this channel, by the way, since it's tinier now, you have to... It's interesting because it's like your first inclination might be to do this, but then you're going to lose out on getting this one. So what you actually want to do is think about these in the opposite sort of configuration and do this. Gets so complicated, but it is
Yeah,
a very
that's
neat
right.
puzzle.
And it's just like it's almost like it's so goddamn abstract. Even though it seems like the simplest thing in the world, just stacking Lego blocks or stacking Tetris blocks on one another. It gets so abstract. You have to think about it for a long time, a lot of times, and it's just like the part of your brain. It's like the same part of your brain that you would use if you're taking like a fucking IQ test or something, or like a spatial reasoning exam or a
Yeah.
logical. It's that part of your brain where you're doing math. It's just really
Frustrating.
even for me. I've been doing these puzzles for my whole life, just seeking them out, and these puzzles are exceptionally difficult even by that standard.
Clever little one there. Sets up another very, very incredibly slow-moving platform.
Oh yeah, and this is another set of puzzles, and I mean you already went to the bridge one or whatever, or like the ferry. I don't know what you call it, but like again, the map is the territory. You're actually changing what it looks like on the map in real time
Yeah, we can actually take a look here.
when you're solving the puzzle. Oh, you're gonna do that one?
No, just to look at it right now, just because. Okay, so we've covered Sun Temple, Parallel Island, the Pottery Barn, Forest. Obviously, these three all the way down here.
Mhm.
The one that's a Forest of Fall, and then also the not Forest of Fall.
We
Sound
did the sound
puzzles.
puzzles last time too.
So it seems like what we're if you're looking for like what the rest of the series is going to look like, we got the quarry up here. This is definitely an end gamey type of one. The mangrove over here, which is not too bad. Castle, which is actually a very simple one and will go very quickly. It only has like 10 puzzles in it. What, total? I think?
Yeah.
Four
Are
on
there a
one side?
lot of environmental puzzles?
Yeah, but those are for a different time.
Okay.
And then the greenhouse, which we're going to be looking at. Then we got like end game and super puzzles. And of course, environmental. Oh, and more little Easter eggs. So we got like the statue up there. We got this statue here. But then you can also look at them like they're doing this. Very cute.
That's
A lot of
and
things like
you,
that.
You found that a couple days ago, or you showed me it a couple days ago.
I also
that was
found
really, yeah.
be
And
fair.
I was like, that was really cool.
Oh, I forgot. We took the shortcut, so we got to actually go back and redo a lot of this. However, hey, one of the nice things is now I got something of a shortcut for walking around on the island.
Yeah.
Just unfortunate that a lot of these things are destroyed. Oh well. At least the general state of the Quagmire is still as colorful as ever.
Yeah.
For whatever that's worth. Also,
We've been in the Quagmire a really long time. That was a joke. Sorry.
what? Oh, yeah, damn it. Anyway, you ever notice how like flat top these trees are? Maybe they're supposed to look like the Tetrominoes.
I don't know. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a nice. That's an interesting interpretation. Maybe.
I don't know. It's really hard to say what exactly is intentional and what exactly is, say, this came out a couple years ago. The graphics aren't perfect.
Maybe he just liked how they looked. Maybe it's like a Constantinople situation.
Yeah, been a long time. Constantinople.
10 long years.
That's the one you went for. Anyway, hey, this one's probably the easiest puzzle yet. But here's where we get into an interesting one, because now we've got impossible puzzles, at least as they are. But combining them so that they create a whole area actually works.
Oh, because you can't solve any of the... Yeah, you can't solve either of those individually. You have to combine them for them to be sensible.
Require you to overlap your line, which is no good, as Sonic would say. And this one, starting to get real tricky. You have to look at it.
You start to think about how this gets put together, and you realize, you know, you have
like
to
this.
do it a certain way. It's just...
And yeah, there we go. Because you got the L block here, you got the two sides here.
I remember just like putting this together in my head. 3, 4, 3, 2.
Oh, it's so. It's just, yeah. These ones take so long to do. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Another very simple puzzle. But here's where we start to get fun
No,
stuff.
you could switch them now, or you can turn them.
Yep, the fact that they are tilted like that means that they're not only playing video games worse due to general exhaustion, but also since you literally can't like have it go in this direction, now you can do this, or
Well,
even
not quite like that,
this.
But, yeah.
And this one's actually very easy. This one's actually very easy.
It's very easy if you remember to count.
Yes, if you remember how. Just remember your Tetris training. Remember all those years of playing Tetris 99. It'll come to you like a wish in the night. Oh, right. Wrong direction. But yeah, this entire one is just figuring out what the rotation is that you need, and remembering that it doesn't have to be like dead center, but just has to be included in the area in one way or another.
Yeah.
I think this is the first time that we've done a lot of like actual puzzle explanation for a while.
Yeah, one of the trickiest parts about that one is just like, or that kind of one is that it has to be like, it has to reach the edge. In fact, you'll see that in this one too. And
yeah, here we go. Let's do probably one of the most difficult puzzles in this entire area, which I think we might have actually missed in the last time we tried doing this video. Take one. You know the one.
I actually am not sure exactly what you're talking about. There's a lot of
you're
talking about the last one. I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Oh, it's such a fun one though, isn't it? Was that
yeah.
At one point in time you talked about actually counting up like individual things and then like doing the negative space calculations on your own. Was that this puzzle?
Maybe, because I was thinking you were talking about the 1-7.
Maybe you cut out there a little bit. But, it's closed right now. Well, we'll get back to that eventually.
I thought you were talking about the one with 7. But I guess if you're talking about one with negative space, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Oh, or you have to add
well,
them
where you approached it with negative space, I suppose, was more the thing that I was... whatever.
Oh.
Let's continue on here. There's so many more things to do. All right, so here's another one of these.
The first thing you notice is that you can rotate them so that they can be in any configuration.
And that's actually not the correct configuration. It's this one because I did the opposite L block again. Again. Anyway, yeah, just kind of swing that one around. So the 3 block is right here and the 4 block is here. The 4 block, as nice as it is in Tetris, it covers a lot of distance, a lot of space in these puzzles. So you got to kind of always keep your head on a swivel for that one.
Yeah, well, honestly, that's one of those where you can kind of, it's process of elimination. Like that one, the one that's really messed up, that there's only a few places that can go.
There's only so many things you can do with it, it's true. And this one, yeah. Making things that just cover a big space helps a lot.
And a lot of them, I mean, as hard as they are, if you start to think like, well, what would be the natural way that they go together? Usually that's, you know, you're halfway there.
What would Jesus do, you know?
Yeah. Jesus walks.
And money talks.
Money doesn't talk; it swears.
Oh damn!
Bob
Aren't
Dylan
you
lyric.
clever? Aren't you the clever boy today?
It's a Bob Dylan lyric. I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, makes sense. I'm just buying time here until I remember what the solution to this puzzle is.
Yeah. What? Fuck.
No. I got it. It's
Has to fit all 4 of those.
you.
Doesn't it? Or is
No,
it
that's
like one where you,
close, but not quite. But no cigar. Cigars do not exist for people that do not win the puzzles like I am trying to do right now.
that's no cigar,
No cigar off my back.
or that's just a cigar. That's Steven Seagal.
That's, I mean, sometimes a cigar is just a cigar.
Oh yeah.
That's right. I am correct.
Sometimes a humidor is just
Another way of saying nothing left to lose.
Oh, well done.
I really,
I don't know if this is well
really
done.
though. Well done, like a steak. Anyway, great. Let's go.
Oh, okay.
Little animation,
works.
and then it drains the swamp.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
It's kind of a political metaphor. Like,
yeah, real political metaphor. We should all be playing Tetris rather than politics. That's my 2020 campaign slogan. Tetris, not politics. So we
Yeah.
got subtractive. I mean, being the opposite color, blank in the middle. Got these tutorial puzzles to really help out with that. We're getting very abstract now, and these ones
Yeah.
are.
oh, I think the thing I said last time is, it's just like draining the swamp in politics because, you only drain one area and leave the rest of it completely intact.
Thankfully, it's not too complicated right now, but these are the tutorial puzzles. One of the nice things, though, is that these are so weird and abstract and do provide for a lot of solutions or potential solutions for puzzles that they don't
By the way,
really
you can solve that one
appear.
about 10 different ways.
They don't really appear too often in the rest of the game, thankfully. Because, man, wrapping your head around trying to do a area puzzle like that is one thing, and then trying to subtract it is just
Yes,
hell on
the
wheels.
The subtractive puzzles are really tricky.
Gotta
Oh,
use
and this
the.
is, of course, the boss, I believe.
It is not the boss, but it is one of the more interesting puzzles here.
Oh, really? I thought. Oh, no, that's right. It's not the boss. That's right. The boss is the other one. Yeah, never mind.
It's a life-size puzzle. But yeah,
This
you
is
have to get
definitely the most difficult, like, sheer Tretmino puzzle, at least in this part of the game.
the color of the paint changes based on how far it is in the water, and you can use that to fill out these environmental puzzles. A pretty neat way of doing that, but also, like, weird to think about it that way. Lighting in video games has gone a long way. Let's go. So, many parts to this. First thing you might look at is just like, okay, well, let's get the ones down on the bottom here first. You can do like that.
Yeah,
sort of
I'm
thing.
guessing there's a lot of ways to solve this one. Oh, you know what I did? I literally, I would start by stacking up one, and then I would add it to the pile, basically, so that I could keep track of what I was adding and stuff.
Yeah, and you can see kind of the way I'm working it out here, where I now.
So the first
add
time I would
this.
start by doing, I think you started out correctly. Like oh, you never mind. You're already.
Then you see
you're
that
already
all you
thinking
need to
this
do
is
is get this one over here, and then this one right here, meaning the solution is that.
That's... Oh, nice.
Yeah?
And yeah, I think that's what I did. Oh yeah. So
It's-
let's see, how many tetraminos are there? There's 7, and it's a 6x5 grid. So if you think about it, it's 7 times 4 is 28, and you've got 2 that have to be left over. So the only question is what those 2 are going to be.
And you can, and it's like, I remember the first time I tried this, I went about it in a lot of different ways. Like, hey, what if I took this one and put it down here so it covers these 2, but then keeps this little area? But it's like, no, you can actually just stack it up literally like Tetris. You know, like put this one on the bottom, this one next to it, this one right here, this one right here, right here, right here, right here, and you're done.
Now, I'm wondering if there may be multiple solutions to this. Probably not very many.
I think it's
There
literally...
may not be multiple.
The fact they
There may
are
not
all
be.
Tetraminos says to me that it is supposed to be like a weird Tetris reference, and it's just a weird Tetris reference, yeah.
How wide are the our Tetris grids? You know what I mean? Like in a Tetris game,
You
how
know, I
wide are
don't
the
actually know.
grids?
Couldn't tell you.
Okay. I feel like they're probably like 8, but I don't know. Maybe it probably depends on the specific version too.
Yeah, there are ones that are larger than others. I mean, Tetris has gone through a lot of different iterations over the years, doing a lot of different things. Some better than others. I mean, you would have to talk to a grandmaster to figure out which ones of those are which, but it's like I'm sure somebody's done that sort of crazy stuff there.
Oh, by the way, there's a random Boston Globe article somebody linked on my Twitter feed. Or not on my Twitter feed, just somebody I follow. And it's just about this like guy who's like studying this. He goes to this like arcade game place where they do all the world records and stuff. Where they actually monitor the world records in like all the arcade games and stuff.
Oh yeah, there are plenty of organizations like that around.
Yeah, and it's just kind of a standard, organizational piece about how those function and stuff, and they do official times, and most of the world records in Tetris have been made here. So anyway, as the guy's writing it, he just happens to overhear them talking about Tetris scores, and he's like, "Oh my god, my wife does that all the time. She does 800 lines." In some fucking like Game Boy Tetris thing.
Yeah.
And so he's like, "Oh my god, she's like, she might be the world record holder." So he brings his wife to the place that he's studying, that he's writing the report on, and it turns out that she's actually like incredible at it. She's a world-class Tetris player, just his wife, like, and
yeah, just randomly.
Yeah, and as it's going on, it turns out that actually she was playing a game in like the color version, and the high scores for that are actually much higher, and so there's a little bit of uncertainty, like, oh shit, so she's really just, maybe she's only average, or she's a really good player but she's not world class or something, or she's not the world record holder, but then she does it and she has like 800 lines or some shit.
I mean, there are actual ways you can test that, like Tetris the Grandmaster is like literally a way to become Grandmaster if you want to.
Oh really? Like, is that an arcade game, or is that for some
it was for like PlayStation. There are like 3 different versions of it. Remember there being a talk box somewhere around here. But yes, now we're seeing points where lines can overlap, and this I'd say is probably the toughest puzzle for this entire area for me. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to like take this little L block in the corner here, put it like right here, take the other little L block in the corner, put it like this.
Oh yeah, so you just have the 2 on the bottom left and the bottom right, and then you have to add the 1 that's,
and then this.
When you put it, have to add that. Yeah, that's right.
And it just and then you can make it into a big line just right like that. And then the remaining L block is to actually include the rest of the puzzle there. It took me a long time to figure that out, I'm going to admit.
Yeah, same. This is a really tricky one for me.
This one, comparatively, not nearly as bad. I mean, obviously, you want to take the little T block and you want to place it like into the middle here to cover as many spaces as possible. I'm going to place it right here. So what the puzzle's going to look like is this. And then I'm going to use my other one to cover this block right here. And it's actually... And then that will cover each one of the puzzle elements, and you're good.
And if you can see, that's actually 6 that aren't covered, which, that's what you'd expect mathematically. So.
That one was just, it was such a mercy, though, compared to the other stuff that you were doing, which were just crazy nutso. Actually, let's real quick see if I can find that, oh, well, not if I need to do that.
What?
Not if I need to wait for those platforms to rearrange themselves in the most obnoxious way possible.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They just totally cancel themselves out here.
In that case, yeah, there's no way to get it wrong unless you fucking intersect. You go between those or something.
Mm-hmm. And then same thing here.
Yeah, a lot of these additive puzzles, it's more just like you have to figure out how to get 0. Like how to get 2 different zeros in this case.
And then we'll do it like...
and the obvious solution is actually barred by that one block.
Yeah. The 2 little things on the side there. But if you just do it like this, kind of separate them out so that it works exactly in the way they need to. Easy.
It's not easy, but it's a lot simpler than
cheesy.
it might seem.
I don't know. Anyway.
Is that even a slogan, or did you just...
I don't know, probably. Anyway, the big thing to
Probably
notice
somewhere.
here is right underneath the stairs. There is a puzzle down here, which is important in about 5 seconds. Because we're on the life-size version. This one is actually the boss one of this area.
Yeah. And it took me a really long time. For me, the final thing that I had to realize was that it's the blue is tilted.
Yes, and you can do it in
So-
whatever way you want to.
And that makes it a lot easier, and it was very frustrating when I figured that out.
And so it's
I
actually
really
much
hate
easier than it
counting
looks, but you might spend a little while here trying to get the correct orientation, not talking about our last video. What do you mean?
Yeah. We spent about like 3 minutes just what the fuck.
I was just like, okay, well, we're going to have to cut this. And
Oh, by the way, little neat part of that is that the end of that puzzle is actually the end, like where you need to go to get to this.
yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, of course, that's the witness all over the place, you know?
Map and territory. The map is the territory.
Stop saying that as if it has inherent meaning. Anyway, you can see the tetrominoes on the side of the box.
I can't. Not in this.
Not
resolution.
you. Not in that
Kind of
resolution.
see. Okay, fair enough. The viewers.
Not with a blinding
Well, aren't the
rage.
viewers seeing what I'm seeing though?
No, I don't have that on the screen, actually.
No, you record. Okay, never mind.
So I would not be able to see it, unfortunately.
Mhm.
Why would I want to watch
Oh.
myself do it this in a worse way?
Yeah, I suppose.
Come on. Come on, that's just ridiculous.
Now these are really easy, right? I'm not.
Yeah, it's mostly just to be able to open up this thing. But it also does, you know, act as a little bit of a skill check to make sure that you've been paying
Oh
attention.
yeah, that is a little bit tricky. I remember now. Yeah, not how I would have thought to solve it immediately.
It's cute, but it's not anything like super.
Yeah.
Like I
It's not
said,
deep.
shortcut sort of deal. But that's all
Yeah,
of
you
the
say
puzzles
as
then
you-
in the Quagmire. And first time you play through this game, it takes forever.
It
Third
does,
time,
yeah.
not nearly as bad. Thankfully.
It's truly, it is a Quagmire. Yes.
Outrageous.
I'm not even being sarcastic.
Oh, you want to keep going?
Sure. What else you got?
Mangrove. We're gonna go do the
What
mangrove.
else can you show me? All right.
I'm gonna show you the world like a Depeche Mode song. Through my eyes.